Good morning.
Morning.
I invite you, if you wish, to take the key that you were handed out when you arrived, or if you're at home, you might want to grab a key, perhaps to your home, to hold in your hand. One of the nice things is metal, when you hold it, grows warmer. And if anyone hasn't gotten a key, if you raise your hand, you'll be brought one. There's a couple people. Oh, we're out of keys? How did I do that? I did like 240 keys. Interesting. Well, wow, okay. Well, yep, we have, oh, there we go. There you go, there you go. Getting closer, oh, hello. If we have any extras somewhere. In our church recently, we've been talking a lot about right brain versus left brain. And right brain is this deep sense of metaphor, expansive, intuitive connection. And that is really where this language of spirituality resides. And the left brain is kind of concrete, actionable, tangible. And what I love about keys is that they function perfectly in both. They're both something we can hold in our hand and use every day, and a wonderful metaphor for the unlocking of our lives. And so I want us to think about this metaphor today as we hold these keys in our hands. One of the things that we get to do as a spiritual community, one reason we come here, is to have our spiritual lives unlocked. People often start coming to churches when they're frustrated, when they're feeling a sense of confinement in their lives, when things aren't as vibrant as they want. And we ask this question, surely there must be more to my life, more to living than this. And so we come to community to unlock that part of ourselves. And let me give you some examples of what this looks like. About 15 years ago, I was in a covenanted group, and I was one of the co-facilitators. And we did this activity that day where I gave everyone a blank sheet of paper and passed out crayons and markers, which thrilled every adult in the room. They couldn't wait. And I said, fold the paper, but then like smooth it out again. So there's a line, but not a real sharp division. And I said, I'm going to invite you to draw. And I invite you to draw on the left side of the page, the community of your childhood. The community of your childhood. Who was there? What did that look like? Draw that picture. And then on the right-hand side, I want you to draw your community of today. Who's there? What does that look like? And we gave about 15 minutes where everyone was drawing, writing some words, drawing. And then we put on some music. And we asked them to just reflect on these two different times in their lives and the communities that were pictured therein. And we went around and shared, and I shared, it was so amazing to me because on my left-hand childhood side, there were no images of faith, and yet the church had taken a central spot, like right in the middle of my page. And this one woman, she waited to go last. And she shared on hers that there was a cross on the left-hand side. She grew up in Egypt and they went to the Egyptian Coptic church. And now there was a picture of our church on her right-hand side. but it was a different image, no longer a cross. And she said, but my whole life when I was young was all about my family. Look how large I drew them. These large presences in her life. And she said, on the right-hand side of my community today, they're not even on the page. And she said, they're alive. They actually live in the area. But 3 years ago, I moved in with my girlfriend, and they don't know about her. And when you're living together and you're decorating your home together, if they were to come over, they would know about that relationship. And then there are the holidays and the birthdays. How we've never celebrated those together. And because of my love of this woman, this relationship, I've been keeping a huge part of my life hidden from my family. And I've kept them distant. And so we sat in silence to hold that recognition with her. I know others in that group joined me in thinking about her in the weeks ahead, and we couldn't wait to come back, not knowing where she was in that processing. And during the check-in, she shared this moment of joy and celebration, because she had told her brother and her sisters and her mother, and had chosen not to tell her father, but they had embraced her with love and acceptance. And she said, not only did the picture help me realize that I had kept them at bay, but their large presence of love in my life suggested that their love might be great enough still to love me despite my fear of their rejection. And it was. The way that the community shapes us and challenges us and invites us can unlock a life within us. Think about other ways that this is happening. I think about how there's a small group of us that gather for spiritual direction on Wednesday mornings online, a nice rotating crew, about a dozen of us. And one of us, Cindy Atley, was so inspired by what was happening that she is now in a certificate program for spiritual direction, adding and changing how she wants to be in our community and in her professional life and nurture her spirit. I think about Sophia Blum, who in January, we participated in her gender renaming ceremony, probably the best moment of celebration I've seen here. And just wait, in part because of who she's discovered herself to be in our community. This week, she found out she was accepted to seminary. Unlocking the potential of each other's lives. We help unlock the doors to our community and make them more welcoming, invite people into this transformation by being small covenanted group leaders, by running our spiritual practice groups, by the beautiful music offered on Sunday, which invites us into a language of reverence. It's in our welcoming team, our hospitalities, our greeters and ushers who welcome us in with space and a smile and a welcome. Here, let's put your name down so others can call you by your name. There's a way that we make space for more people to come in seeking that growth and change together. And it's not just that we're unlocking doors here, but we're unlocking doors beyond our congregation. Last Sunday when I talked about marriage equality, because of time, I didn't really get to share fully how integral and necessary the work of the UU Legislative Ministry of Maryland was to passing the referendum for marriage equality in 2012. It might not have happened had we not unlocked that law to make marriage equality and human dignity and love legal. It is in the story that Scott Eden shared during a middle hour of how he was so inspired by a middle hour program when another participant asked him, "So what are your values?" And looking at your week, are you living them? And his answer was, "Not fully." And so what did he do? He went up and worked with the medical center to found the Luminous Health Clinic, making sure low-income people have access to necessary health services, both preventative and what's non-preventative? Interventionist? Treatments, thank you. Amen, doctors out there, thank you. It is also shown when we gathered with other communities to say, you know, Maryland is one of the only state, maybe the only state, where a life sentence had literally meant a life sentence. No one for decades got an honest parole hearing. And because of the passion and connection we found in our prison ministries, we went to the State House and said, people deserve to get an opportunity for parole, to see if they can return home. And we passed that law, and since then, men and women and people have returned to the communities they know as home, a place where they are welcome back. The things we unlock when we come together. But I want to say that unlocking is a really powerful thing because you have to be given the key. And that's what it means when you come here. One of the things I like to say in the membership classes is the great gift of membership is we will let you change us. We will let you change us. You are given the key to the kingdom, as someone said when they came in and got their key. You give a key to honor, to welcome. You give a key to someone you trust. Each of you has been given a key, except for the couple of you, I'm really sorry, I don't know how that happened. Next week. So I invite you to think about how you have this key and how the gifts of your kindness and generosity, your financial resources, your presence, your talents unlock a beloved community that so dearly wants to have its door opened. May we make it so together, and amen.